That night still feels like a turning point. The moment everything I believed about love, loyalty, and trust quietly began to collapse. It wasn't a dramatic movie scene or a story someone invented online. It was my life. One ordinary evening, a single encounter with a stranger rewrote everything I thought I understood about myself. It began so quietly. Rain tapped against the window, a steady rhythm that matched the heaviness in my chest. I sat staring at the city lights, wondering when my relationship had stopped feeling alive. It wasn't bad, not really. Just dull, predictable. We had grown comfortable in all the wrong ways. You know that quiet emptiness that creeps in when everything looks fine from the outside, but inside something whispers that something's missing? That was me. I didn't know what I was searching for until I met him. A stranger, younger, vibrant, with eyes that seemed to carry light even on the darkest day. Our meeting was accidental, or maybe it wasn't. Life has a strange way of testing us, sometimes through the people we least expect. He smiled in a way that felt disarming, sincere, and in that moment, the world around me dimmed. It started innocently. Small talk, harmless jokes, a few messages that seemed ordinary. But it's never just that, is it? Emotional storms rarely begin with thunder. They start as whispers, a laugh too long, a message sent too late. I told myself it was nothing, just friendship. Yet my heart began betraying me. It raced when his name appeared on my screen. My smiles lingered longer than they should. I began comparing him with the man waiting at home, the one I barely talked to anymore. That's when guilt began to settle. Quiet, but heavy. Infidelity doesn't begin with touch. It begins in the mind. In those subtle betrayals we excuse as harmless, in the longing glances we pretend not to notice. I wish I had realized it sooner, because what started as comfort soon turned into chaos, a slow, silent unraveling of everything I once thought unshakable. He wasn't supposed to matter. Yet somehow he did. He made me feel seen again. It's strange how easily affection can disguise danger. Each message felt like oxygen after years of holding my breath. He asked about my dreams, my fears, questions no one else had asked in a long time. And I answered them honestly, forgetting the boundaries that once guarded my heart. At home, the distance grew. My partner became quieter, detached. Our conversations turned into checklists, our laughter replaced by the hum of silence. Every night felt colder, and in that emptiness, my thoughts drifted toward the one person who made me feel alive. I told myself I was in control, but control was already slipping. Then came the first real warning. One evening, as I was cooking, my phone buzzed. His name lit up the screen. My partner looked up, just for a second. But something in his eyes shifted. He didn't say a word, yet I felt the air change. The silence that followed was louder than any argument. From that moment, the walls of secrecy began to close in. Days turned into weeks of quiet paranoia. My phone became both a comfort and a threat. Each message thrilled and terrified me. The stranger's tone grew more intimate, more urgent. And then one night he sent a message that made my pulse stop. We need to talk, now. I met him at the same cafe where it had all begun. He looked different, tense, guarded. When he finally spoke, his words cut deeper than I expected. Someone had contacted him online, warning him to stay away from me. The message included screenshots, photos, private details only someone close could know. My stomach turned. Someone had been watching. When I came home, the living room light was on. My partner was waiting. His calmness scared me more than anger ever could. "Do you want to tell me who he is?" he asked. My voice failed. He already knew. He had seen the messages, the late-night exchanges, everything. Then he said something that shattered me. He had met the stranger before. He explained that months ago, the man had interviewed at his office. The connection hit me like a storm. The stranger I thought I'd met by chance hadn't been a stranger at all. Maybe he knew who I was. Maybe he planned it. Or maybe fate just played a cruel trick. Either way, the illusion of coincidence crumbled. My partner stood, voice trembling but calm. "You both deserve the truth. Figure out what that is." Then he left. The door clicked shut, leaving behind a silence so thick it hurt to breathe. My phone buzzed again. Another message. He wasn't supposed to find out like this. I stared at the screen until the words blurred. Everything that needed to be said had already been said, just not by me. Days passed in hollow quiet. My partner moved out for a while. The stranger kept reaching out, but I couldn't face him. I no longer wanted explanations or promises. I needed to face what I'd become. It wasn't fate that led me there. It was my own loneliness, my own need to feel something again. Eventually, my partner and I talked, not to repair what was broken, but to understand it. He said he still cared, but some fractures never truly heal. I accepted that. Some love stories don't end in anger. They end in quiet understanding. As for the stranger, he vanished from my life as suddenly as he had appeared. One day, his messages simply stopped. Maybe he moved on. Maybe he understood, as I finally did, that some connections aren't meant to last. Looking back, I realized this wasn't a story of betrayal. It was a story of awakening, a reminder that when we stop feeling seen, we lose sight of ourselves first. Love isn't about passion or escape. It's about choosing honesty, even when it hurts. And sometimes, the people who change our lives forever aren't the ones who stay. They're the ones who force us to see who we've become when everything else falls away.